Okay guys, so welcome back to another one of my videos, and in this video I'm just going to talk about, well, I'll tell you what it is. As usual, as any scrapper will know, that you'll start searching in a shed for something and you'll come across something and you go, oh, I forgot I had that there. So what I have here is some filtered foils and stuff that I've left thrown aside. Now there is still some magnetic material among it, as you'll see. So you can see there's still a lot of magnetic material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into, my plan is to put this into dilute nitric. So I'm going to have some dilute nitric and I'm going to put it into that and try and dissolve the base metals and then refilter it and put the foils into aqua regia. So I'm just going to put this into a jar with some distilled water, a little bit of distilled water, and dilute the nitric down a bit because the nitric is a bit too concentrated. So I'm going to dilute it down a small bit and have it on heat and hopefully get this to start to dissolve the base metals. And once the base metals are dissolved, then I'm going to refilter it and put it into aqua regia. So this is just some foils and stuff that was left. As you can see, hopefully we'll get a little bit of a drop from it. Mightn't be expecting much, but there's a nice little bit in there that I had put aside from something I had filtered or something that went wrong, or God knows what I was doing and I forgot about it. And we'll put it into a little jar and we'll go from there. So join me outside, guys, where we'll get to work on that. Okay guys, so we have the solution out here. I have it on a bit of a heat. So you can see in there, well, you can't really see with the steam from the heat. It's just a bit of dilute, well, it's not diluted, it's just water. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add little bits of nitric into it. So I'm just going to get a dropper. Give me a second, I'll get a dropper. So I have my little dropper here of nitric, so I'm just going to put a little bit in first and then we'll pour a bit more. I just want to see what sort of reaction we're going to get. Are we going to get any reaction straight away, or will it just take a while to react? So we're not really getting any reaction yet. Okay, we're going to pour a bit more in. So we'll just put that in. So we're getting a bit spilt on here, and it's been, the heat is just dissolving it straight away, or evaporating it. Now we'll let that work away for a while and we'll come back and see how is it getting on. Okay guys, so we're just checking in on the solution again. So you can see the fumes are building up, and there's not as much as there was. It's on heat, so it's quite warm. So we'll just let the fumes out. Now guys, if you notice when I stir it, it goes a cloudy white. So I don't know what that is. It's not dissolving in the nitric. So if anyone could tell me in the comments what it is silver, what could it be? We're going to let that work away again. And I'm going to let it continuously work away. It's been possibly a week since I started it. So it does take a while to dissolve a lot of the metals, so that's where the fumes are coming from, the iron, stuff like that. So the next time you see it, I will have dissolved completely all that. I'm not going to keep doing this every couple of days showing you. It's just a process. You know how it works. So you just let the nitric do its work and dissolve as much of the base metal as possible before we put it into aqua regia. So next time you see it, we'll be filtering it and we'll be putting it into aqua regia. Okay guys, so it's been a few weeks since I was last looking at these. As I say, I'm not rushing them, I'm doing them bit by bit, nice and slow. So I had this on heat. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to filter it. And we're going to see how this is getting on. This is the mixture of stuff I found that that I don't even know where it came from or what it was. It was just something I'd left thrown in a jar. So we'll just filter that out. Still a bit warm, but should just filter through fairly quick. As you can see, I have another jar working away here. This is CPU pins. You'll probably see a video of that, or if I haven't already, that video up. That's just CPU pins, so you can see the reaction is still happening inside there. So if I take that off, you'll have your. So the reaction is still taking place. There's still a lot of base metals in that. So I'll probably filter that out, and you'll probably see it in a different video, filtering it out and putting in some fresh nitric, fresh dilute nitric to work away on it. So we'll let that filter through and we'll see what the contents are like. While that's filtering away there, I just want to show you this. Is when I stir it up, it goes like a cloudy. So there's a lot of dirt and stuff still in there that hasn't, the nitric hasn't affected. So I don't know what that's made of or what it is. When the nitric hasn't taken it into solution. So it's not a metal of sorts. So you can see the solution is coming out very clean. So the filter is holding on to all the bits and pieces. So we'll come back once that's filtered through and we'll have a look and see what we have. Okay guys, so that's filtered through. You can see here I've disposed of some of the nitric into my stock pot, and just letting the last few bits drip through. But you can see in here, you can see the gold from that, and it's still got that grey powder. So I don't know, is that a silver or what it is, but anyone knows what that could have been. It's ready to go into the into the aqua regia. So we'll move on to the next stage. We'll dry this out and we'll get it into aqua regia and we'll get working on that stage. So come on back when we've this dried out and ready to go into the aqua regia. Okay guys, so I have filtered all that stuff from that pins or not, whatever there was I found in a jar that I didn't know I had or forgot I had. So there's some foils in there, there's some pins in there, there's a mixture of every sort of gold stuff. So I said I used the nitric to try and get rid of any more base metals that was in there, and now I'm left with this. So as you can see, some filter paper and stuff like that in there, but that won't make a difference in a minute when it's going into the aqua regia. It shouldn't make any difference. I'm hoping. I can still see a few little pins that managed to escape on me, but we'll put them in there. It's always a few bits that'll escape when you're filtering and drying it and stuff like that. So that was that. But before I move on, I wanted to show you something else. As you probably remember back in the video, probably last year or early this year, I was using heat guns on CPU chips to remove, or CPU chips to remove these pins. But these ones with the plastic bodied were just heating up and not actually letting the actual pins fall off. So what I've decided to do is put them into nitric and try and get the pins to come off that way. But what I've noticed was when I put it into the nitric and let them sit in there for a while, all I'm doing is just a copper there and pins there, but didn't really seem to have so much reaction. So what I've decided to do was cut them. But I want to show you something when I cut them that I didn't know, to be honest, because I've never dealt really with much plastic ones. So all I was doing was, to make it easier, was I was cutting off these ends like this, and then just breaking them off, if I can cut far enough. But I'll show you in the meantime, before I go cutting anymore, is when you cut it, this copper removes fairly easy. So that's just a little piece of copper, but underneath, as you can see, we have some gold flashing and what looks like a little mirror effect. So I'm hoping there's gold on that. It looks like there is. So we'll know when we put it into the acid. But I just wanted to show you guys. So all I'm doing is cutting them off, and then I'm going to put them into the acid. But I want to see if I can show you properly on this one. Something else that I found interesting. So again, I'm just making it into smaller bits so that it's hopefully able to mix with the acid better. So there's our little bits. But what I also noticed is this back cover then, when you cut it down, will remove. And as you can see in here, there's the mirror. But that seems to be gold flashed on that side, and we have gold bonding wires on this side. So again, that could be put straight into aqua regia. Them golden bond wires, and the aqua regia should deal with it. But what I'm worried about was what was underneath here, whether it's copper or something like that is under there. But what I'm going to probably do is just going to bung that in here while I'm at it and just see what will happen. Might mess the whole thing up, but it's just something I'm going to do. I'm just going to throw in there. So I just thought I'd show you guys that. So it seems to be on all the ones with the copper thing on them. Now I hadn't, as I say, this is something new to me that I didn't discover. So all I'm doing is trimming these down. These pins I'll be putting into nitric to try and get the pins out of the board or get the gold foils from them. If that doesn't work, we'll wash them off and we'll put them into we'll put them into AR, or sorry, AP, jeez, I keep mixing everything up, AP, to remove them that way. But hopefully the nitric will work on it and I don't have to do that. Just a matter of breaking these little things off, whatever sort of stuff they're made of. It just won't, it only melts if you use the heat gun. So now it's just a matter of removing that copper little cover again. So I just bend them back a bit so I can get in under it. We'll just get a little screwdriver, if I can find the proper screwdriver for doing it. Maybe the bigger one might just do the same job. So it's a matter of trying to pry that copper away from the actual thing. So again, we have that part where I'll take the black off in a minute, and then I want to try and get that copper off there. And we'll just see if there's any gold flashing under here. So there isn't any gold flashing this time on it, so we just have that bit of copper. And again, this black one at the back, I want to get that off now. So again, I'll try and just pry that black part away, which I have done here. And again, just put the screwdriver underneath, and hopefully that will take that black cover off, like it did there. And there's our gold bonding wires exposed. So you can see the little gold bonding wires, and again we have that little bit of gold flashing. Again, that might come off, hopefully it will. So that's all I want to show you guys. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go outside. We're going to put a little bit of HCl in here just to cover that, and all I'm going to do is add probably 3 milliliters of nitric acid to create the aqua regia at a time. Again, what I have a habit of doing, or had a habit of doing, was rushing it and putting too much nitric in, and then that led to other problems later on. So this time I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cover that with the HCl, heat it a bit, add the nitric, leave it for a couple of hours to work away. When it stops reacting, I'll add a bit more nitric, and so on, so that I'm not getting too much in it at one time and causing a problem later on. So as you see in previous videos, I had issues with nitric, and that was my own fault. I put too much nitric in it. So again, I'm just going to take this very, very slow. That's why it's taking a bit longer for videos to come. I'm not rushing them. I'm not trying to push them quicker to get them out. I'm just doing them the right way this time, and hopefully everything comes out good at the end. So let's go outside and check it out. Okay, so I have the put everything soaked here in the not the nitric, the HCl. So I have my HCl in there. It went a funny coppery colour, what I expect to find when HCl is dissolved in copper. So there may have been a bit too much copper still in there. Some of the base materials hadn't all gone that I thought I had gone. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a couple of drops of nitric, as you can see here. Very, just a few drops. So that was 2 milliliters, and another 2, which is 4 milliliters to get started. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to leave it. I'll just mix it up a bit. As I say, I'm not going to rush this one. I'm just going to let it work away, and we'll come back every so often and just check it out and see how it's getting on. So guys, we'll check back and we'll leave that on heat, and we'll check back in a few hours and see how it's got on. And we may need to add more, or we might just leave it for another while. We'll see how the reaction is going. Okay guys, so I've left the solution for a while with the nitric and the HCl to make the aqua regia. It seems to have dissolved the gold particles in there, so hopefully it has. I didn't use that much nitric this time. I think it ended up at being maybe 10 milliliters of nitric in total. So I'm hoping it has dissolved all the gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just filter it out. So we'll just filter this out. And we'll see what we end up with. So I have it's a very green. I didn't expect it to be green. But again, this was stuff that I found that was just lying around in a jar. There was some sort of foils, and there was some sort of silver powder or grey coloured powder. So you can see down here, that's the remains of the bits of board and stuff like that, but there doesn't seem to be any gold foils left. So what I'll do is I'll leave that there aside. I'll let that filter through. You can see it's very black, but hopefully once it's filtered through it should lighten up a bit in colour, and we'll come back once it's filtered through, guys. Okay, so the filtration has finished, and as you can see in here, this is what I'm left with. It's like a gunk at the bottom, bits of whatever it could have been. Let me just get a, you can see there, it's like bits of gunk and stuff, but I'll hold on to that, and when I'm doing a clean up of my filters, that'll be dealt with again. So it may possibly have still some gold foils or maybe gold things in it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to test the solution just to see if we have any gold in it. So what we'll be looking for is a discolorant. So we'll just get myself set up here. So I'll just put that little container there because it will be hold any drips of the liquid. So we have a greeny yellowy colour to the liquid. And when I put the stannous on it, so again guys, if you don't have stannous, get some med. There's a video up there. You need that for testing. So I'm looking for this to turn black. So we can see there straight away that we've got a good positive test for precious metals. So it's gone black straight away. So again, I just hold that over it. So you can see there how black that has gone. So that's good, strong, positive test for gold, or not gold, but just precious metals in general. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm not going to do the drop today, guys, because I'm out of SMB at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that away, put it somewhere safe. I'm going to denox it before I do a drop. Hopefully this time it won't take much to denox it because of the how little nitric I used. So I used very little nitric, so hopefully that will help when it comes to denoxing of it. So we'll just put that in there, and I'll put that away somewhere safe, and we'll deal with that. I have a few more jars to get ready to dissolve gold in and stuff like that, so I'll probably do a drop all together in one go. I'll do a drop of a couple of different solutions. I'm just trying to find the right lid for the top of that because I've so many of them thrown around here, and just to see which one. There we go. So that's it, locked up now safely, and I'll put a label on it so I know what's in it, and we'll deal with that on a future video when I'll be doing a couple of drops. So that was some stuff that I found just in filters that hadn't that I was dealing with and probably put aside to do something else and forgot about them. So hopefully we'll do a drop in the future on that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and don't forget to like, share, check out some of my other videos. As you can see at the moment I'm working on some stannous here as well, because my stannous is nearly all gone, so I'm making some more fresh stannous for testing, and we'll check out that video, guys, if you want to see how stannous is made. This filter will be dried out, it'll be added to all my rest of my filters, and hopefully at some stage we'll have a video on what I do with all the filters. So we'll be showing you how I deal with the filters and getting any precious metals that are still left in the filters. So hit the thumbs up, guys, share it out, and catch you on the next one.